Hello, and this is the final demo for my Internet of Things final project. So just kind of looking first into the design. So here we have a motion sensor, an ambient light sensor, and then the RGB LED. Then we have our Arduino connecting right here. It's a little messy, but you know. And then we're connecting this over to my laptop, which I can do now. And kind of how this is supposed to work is this is a motion detected light. So first we check them if there's motion, and if so, then we know we're gonna want the light, but the ambient light sensor is going to affect the level of light we want. And so the RGB LED will take on different colors to represent different levels of light. And the idea is that if you have a lot of lighting in a room, say like right here, you're gonna want to use less power on lighting. So yeah, it'll be easier once we go into it and look. So let me just connect this. Then start running this. Then we can go in here. I can show also, so we have registrations, and you can look at either the light level, which is going to represent how much lighting that you want, the ambient light level, which is how much ambient light is being taken in by the sensor, and the motion, which is just kind of whether or not there's motion. And then here's the start of the database, but let's run it to show you how it's going to update. So here we're going to be getting the light levels. We can see here that we're getting a light level of 4. 4 means that we do not need, or we do need a lot of light, because the warmer the light, so here's yellow right now, that means that we want a lot of light. Say if we cover this, it's going to turn red. Red means we want a lot of light, but in no motion, so we have to get motion back. And then if we turn it up here, we'll see that it's blue. Blue means that you do not need a lot of light, which makes sense because a lot of ambient light is being tracked by the sensor. Green kind of in the middle, so warmer the color, less light you need. And then we can also see here, so this is kind of the middle box summary. And then we're seeing that these were the averages I had before in the database, but with all these added light levels, maybe if I kind of cover it, we're gonna see different light levels. So yeah, 3. If I really cover it, it's gonna go up to 5. But then we'll see here in our database, we have all these new entries. Before we were originally at line 370, but now we're all the way down to 472. So I got 100 new values. So we should notice a change in here. So we'll be changing these values. So kind of let's just refresh. Yeah. So now these averages a little higher because we had a lot of high light level averages because there's a lot of shadow over here. And yeah, that's generally my project. I'm happy with this. I think that my idea with Internet of Things was going into it was I want to see how we could kind of improve upon already made systems. And one already very well known already made system is the motion detected light. And I was trying to think of how could we improve these motion detected lights, because we know that they save a lot of power. And to me, the logical next step was we could instead also take into account the surrounding electricity or the surrounding kind of lighting, and use less energy on these physical lights. I also think it would be cool to include the ultrasonic sensor, which I included in my write-up, but it just simply needed too much power, which we could not do here. So that would be another cool thing. But again, happy with this. I'm happy with using the RGB LED because I think it's easier to represent these different levels of brightness, where the cooler the color, the less light that you need. I think it's cool. Like, of course, if you were like using this in a practical setting, you'd want the actual brightnesses, not these different colors on the RGB LED. But I think it helps with the demonstration, showing how this would work. And I'm hoping that maybe in the future I can implement something like this in my home. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything that you've taught me this semester. And yeah, of course, thank you so much.